Hello and welcome back to Favorite Things. In my previous videos, I talked about the Sportsman model and how it is nearly perfect as an everyday carry, especially because it's got the nail file instead of the secondary smaller blade. It's missing a scissor and it has a corkscrew, which, you know, it's got some function, but I personally prefer the Phillips driver for aesthetics, for comfort. It's flatter, and I don't drink wine anymore, and I feel like the only benefit to the corkscrew now is the ability to add an additional accessory tool. So yeah, and then I did a video on this little guy, the Alumnus, which is a rare 84 millimeter model, which has a scissor, a corkscrew, and instead of a second blade, it has the nail file, although it's the older version, which is got the gritty material here. So you also may recall in a previous video that I ended up with an extra 84 millimeter scissor when my 84 millimeter golfer was serviced by Victorinox. When it needed a new back spring for the scissor, they just went ahead and replaced both the scissor and the back spring. I ended up with this extra scissor, so I wanted to use this in a custom project. So I connected with the good fellow Daniel Bridge at Blade Bridge Customs in the UK, and he and I exchanged many emails, and so he created for me a very ideal knife, which is my favorite EDC knife. So the way this started is I purchased a second Sportsman, and I also purchased a second Walker, which has the 84 millimeter wood saw, and I sent them both to him as well as my spare scissor. And what I got back was this beauty. Look at that beautiful presentation box. So let's take a look. Of course, we've got the knife, we've got business card here, and a little medallion, wooden coin. Love this presentation box, very nicely fit. And so here it is. I'm gonna call this my Centurion. So what I decided is I wanted to have, instead of the corkscrew, I wanted to have the Phillips. So that was the one change that I made. So we had the Phillips. And then it's got the standard opening layer with the cap lifter bottle opener, can opener. It's got the standard main blade. Now instead of the second smaller blade, we've got the new version of the nail file. One of my kind of wishes was a new version of this nail file, and so I got what I wanted with that. This is a much more effective tool. And then we also have a scissor. Ta-da! Now, he ended up enabled to use this because I didn't have a separate back spring. So this back spring is really critical. We chatted back and forth. There were some talks about having a custom back spring made. So the problem is the machining is one thing, but these are specifically heat treated by Victorinox to get that springiness, that repeated springiness, and that right metallurgy. So that is very difficult to achieve. So I ended up just purchasing a set of back spring plus scissor from Dan, and what's nice is he gives you this custom blued, see if you may be able to catch this in the light, It's custom blued single leaf spring, which kind of a throwback to the pre-1975 era knives. And so we've got that. We also, like I said, we have the Phillips. We've got the pinhole. I can add an extra tool there. And then we've got the awl with sewing eye. And so, of course, we've got the tweezer, we've got the toothpick, key ring. So this is my favorite all-around everyday carry, specifically because it's an 84 millimeter knife. It just slips in the pocket a lot easier, and so especially with the low profile Phillips screwdriver, it's just great. You can see this video here that I posted of a showdown between two very popular everyday knives, the Compact and the Super Tinker. And in that video, I talked about how a 4-layer knife, like my old Explorer, is just a little bit too much in the pocket. I think anything above 3 layers starts to become too bulky for good, comfortable EDC. And because of my wanting to stay with 3 layers, I decided I'm not going to use the walker for the saw. So I'll probably end up just selling this in the package since I already have another walker. So we decided not to use this, and he sent it back to me. But something like this, which is 3 layers, noticeably more comfortable in the pocket. Not as comfortable as a 2-layer or certainly a 1-layer, but with the scissor, it's really great. It's just got everything you would really need for an urban adventure. So this is my favorite all-around EDC, even though it's a custom model, but it's got everything I want. So there it is. Thanks for watching. See you soon.